So I'm going to do my best to condense it down, but here's my goal, especially to you in the very front row, and you fellas right there. If you can get one thing today that you can learn from, that you can remember that will stick, then my job is accomplished. The bottom line I want to do this morning is just inspire you guys to continue the quest, because life is just one big journey. It's not a sprint. You know, it's a long race, and so you got to have the perseverance to carry through. There's going to be ups and downs, so we're going to talk about that today. So just as a quick overview again, some of the things I'm just going to touch base on is just talk about goals. You guys have been through that already. I think you've seen some of the value in that. And really, what is success? Like really, what is success? It's such an intangible. For some, success is money. Some success is a career. Some success is to get married. Some success is to be, it means different things to different people. So one of the things that I want you to think about this morning is if you don't think about what success looks like for you right now, nobody else will. Let me say it one more time. If you don't think of what success looks like for you right now, they don't want to look for you. It's a very important point to realize that you are the one that's in control. And you're the one that's going to make something happen. We're going to touch peer pressure just a little bit, because I think especially in middle and high school, and even in college, you're going to fall into some pressure. And you got to make choices. We're going to talk about listening skills. I think the parents in the room would love that, because if you don't listen, if you're not in the moment, you can mess yourself up. There's two types of listening. There's responsive listening and reactive listening. And so reactive listening is, as I'm talking to you right now, you're talking to yourself. That's reactive listening. You're thinking about what I'm saying or what you're going to say next in a conversation. But we're going to focus on responsive listening, just being in the moment. And again, we're going to talk about the last two things, just really believing in yourself, which is what the Kappa League is all about, as well as the phrase, I am. Y'all say that real quick. Say, I am. Y'all know how powerful that is? You know your words have life in them, right? Words speak life, they speak death. So it's very important. Because a lot of people say, I am, I'm not good at that. And if you tell yourself you're not good at something for a period of time, what begins to happen is you begin to prophesize what you're not going to be. And if you ask people in life, what do you want out of life? A lot of people won't tell you what they want, but they'll tell you what they don't want. And so what you have to do is make the switch of how you're thinking is, because what you realize is, in a book that I love, very much so, it talks about the renewing of your mind, okay? And in that book, it talks about how you got to renew your mind daily and take every thought captive. There's a reason why that it says that, is because if you don't renew your mind on the things that are just and pure, your surroundings will renew it for you. And so we want to touch on that a little bit. But the first thing we need to do before we get started is I need to volunteer. Okay, so here's lesson number one. Lesson number one is when you have an opportunity to volunteer, you got to step up. That's what leadership is. So anybody that wants to come up, come up. I need a volunteer. Okay, I got my hand right here. Well, come right here. We're going to go this way right here. So here's the deal. So everybody in the room had an opportunity to volunteer, but only a few people got up. So that's one thing you got to realize in life. There's going to be things you think you should do. But then the conversation you have with yourself is going to be, hey, I may be embarrassed. What's going to happen? I don't want to fail. See, that's the stuff you got to overcome to become successful in life. Whether successful in your marriage one day, successful in raising your children, or in your career job. So I want you to flow into that. But here's what we're going to do. We're talking about listening, right? Okay, so what's your name? Sylvester what? All right. So when we speak, we want to speak to be heard, right? So Sylvester, tell everybody your name, first and last name. Okay, Sylvester, fine. Now we got a real easy listening test. I'm going to say a word, you're going to repeat it, and I'm going to ask you to spell the word. You're going to spell it, and I'm going to say the word again, and we're going to go back and forth, and I'm going to ask you a question, okay? Are there any questions to the test? Okay, great, here we go. All right, simple word. The word is silk. What's the word? What's the word? Okay, spell the word. Spell the word again. What's the word? Okay, you're doing good, but I need you to speak up. So when I ask you the word, speak to be heard. So what's the word? Spell the word. Okay, what's the word? What do cows drink? Okay. We're talking about listening, being in the moment. Now cows give milk, but they drink oil. Listen now, it's very important that when you're talking to your parents, you listen to your parents' direction and teachers and all the stuff and your boss one of these days, that listening skills are important. You tracking, yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, you got to do this. So here's what we're going to do. Even though you weren't responsive listening, I'm going to reward you for getting in the game. I'm going to give you $5 for getting in the game. And I want to tell you, listen, in life, when there was an opportunity to get in the game and get involved and be a volunteer, the only way you can think, you got to step up and go for it, okay? All right, give me a hand. Here, preparation. You guys talk about preparation, right? Here's what you have to realize. That a lot of people say that the kids are our future. Right? We've heard that before. Anybody heard that before? Kids are our future. But here's the deal. Kids aren't the future. Okay? Kids are right now. Because your future is right now. Just like the video talked about as it relates to preparation. Okay? You can't go out on the field and expect to perform if you haven't prepared. You have to have the preparation way before. Preparation, if some of you want to play, I read a story about a young kid that called one of his mentors and he said to his mentor, hey, I got up at 5 in the morning and I'm out there working on my soccer game. And the mentor said, man, that's great, where's your practices? He said, well, that's the deal. I didn't make the team, but I'm out here anyways. See, he's already seeing eventually what he's going to become prior to doing it. That's what vision is all about in preparation. So if you guys are young right now and figuring out where you're going to go, even though you know you have goals and things you got set for yourself, if you don't plan in the ground now what you want to become, it ain't going to happen. If you look at the definition of preparation, okay, it's a measure or provision by which one prepares for something, prepares for a journey, any proceeding or experience, or the like is considered preparing for the future. When you're looking at preparation, in other words, it goes right inside of that, and I call that sacrifice. Because a lot of times, if you're going to prepare for something, like the video said, are you eating fries or you eating grilled chicken? If you're going to prepare for something, you got to give up something. Okay? You can't expect to go on to college like you're supposed to, graduate high school like you're supposed to, if you're not going to do your homework and your preparation. Now, here's the funny thing about preparation and sacrifice. Is preparation and sacrifice fun or not fun? Not too fun, is it? It's not too fun. You have to realize a lot of things that you go through in life, the good things for you are not necessarily good for you. You always have to make sure that you're focusing on what it takes to make it where you want to go. Sacrifice is such a key component. I will tell you part of my story, and there's been a lot of failures in my story. A lot of failures. See, a lot of people see me and see Louie Herron Toyota, they see the glory, but they don't have any clue what that story is all about. They have no idea what I went through as a young kid, what I had to deal with growing up in Miami, Florida. I'll get that a little bit with you here. But I will tell you, as it relates to preparation, I remember clearly when I was a car salesman, and everybody thought they laughed at me because I was a young kid in the car business, and I told them I wanted to be a general manager. And I told them that I was going to become a general manager by the time I was 28. Now, mind you, there ain't many people that run a car dealership at 28 years old. And one of the things that I had the opportunity to do was go to this training in Virginia. Okay? And in that training in Virginia, I wasn't even a general manager yet, but it was general manager training. So I went to my boss, who was the general manager, and I said, listen, I'd like to go to this training, and I'll pay for it. And he said, well, you're not even a general manager yet. I said, that's my point. That's my point. See, because you got to see in the dark what your Creator told you to light. You track what I'm saying? You got to see it before it actually happens. You got to know whatever your goal is, that it can manifest, it can happen, but you got to do the preparation. See, nobody is going to prepare for you but yourself. All right? And you got to make sure you're doing proper sacrifices. I want to talk to you just briefly just about dreams and goals. Okay? Now, as you get older, when you're y'all's age, right in middle school, even in high school, it's pretty cool to have a dream. But unfortunately, most people die at 25. We just don't bury them till they're 70. And the parents know what I'm talking about. See, in theory, y'all got about another 7-8 years left of life. And then you're supposed to die off, or you'll be buried later in life. And what I mean by that is most people at 25, they've been beat down, told they can't, told they ain't never going to do nothing. Their surroundings don't look too good. The environment doesn't look great. School may not be going so well. And after a while, those dreams and those goals, you start to believe they can't happen. Okay? But here's one thing I want to share with you. If you don't dream and you don't dream and have goals for yourself, nobody will do it. Who's responsible for your dreams and goals? Okay, now let's say what I said at the very beginning. Let me hear you say that. what I want you to really get into your stomach, and don't ever forget this. Winners lose more than losers. Winners lose more than losers. The reason why is because winners are constantly going for something. So if you're constantly shooting for something, you're going to fail more often, don't you agree? You're going to fail a lot. But here's what you have to keep in mind. Failing ain't no big deal. Okay? If you fail at something, you get a chance to do it again. You get up, you dust yourself off, you move forward, you go at it again. Okay? Most people don't have the perseverance to keep moving forward because they haven't prepared or sacrificed enough early in life. See, people that are successful make decisions when they're young, but they manage them as they get older. Let me say it one more time. Successful people make solid decisions when they're young, but they manage them as they get older. If you don't make decisions today for your future, ain't no momentum. Who's responsible for your decisions? I can't hear you. You are. Okay? Let me tell you what a decision is. Okay? Alright? The incision, okay, is to cut into. Excision means to cut off or cut out. Decision means to cut off all possibilities. When you make a decision or you decide to do something, you're cutting off all the possibilities. So hear me now. Some of you may want to play sports and get a scholarship. Some of you may love dance, art, music. You may like hip-hop, recording, who knows what, whatever it may be. Some of you may enjoy that. Okay? So it's up to you to make certain that you put the steps in place to make that stuff happen. You have to make a decision. So making a decision is simply like this. When I was in the car business, and people used to laugh at me when I was 21 years old, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna be a general manager. They said, hey, you're so young. Man, that's cute. I said, yeah, I am. And I got 24 and I was a sales manager. Then I was a general sales manager. And I said, I'm gonna run a car dealership and I'm gonna buy one. I said, oh man, that's cute. How you gonna do that? Here's the deal. When your why is so big, the how will always show up. When your why is so big, the how will show up. So when I left at 18 years old, I went to Virginia. I've never been home since. Now I visit every now and again, but most people don't know that. I was at the dealership a lot of times, and some customers say, hey, is your dad here? I kind of chuckle. You know, my dad's a roofer. I ain't got nobody that's been in the car business. Okay? But when your why is so big, your how will show up. When my dad used to say, you can't do it, you're not going to do it, son. You're not good enough to do it. And sometimes I can't explain why my dad would say something like that, but you may have friends that say the same thing. That drive was so intense that I wanted to succeed as bad as I could take a breath. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you can be successful. But you got to want it that bad. That why is so intense, that's why you prepare. So you have to find out for yourself, what is the initiative? Okay? So don't ever discount your goals and your dreams. Part of the thing, look, there's education, there's inspiration, there's motivation. Alright? So I'm inspiring you guys to think a little bit this morning. But I'm not showing you the how. I'm giving you some information this morning, but I will tell you one of the things you need to do as it relates to your dreams and your goals. Maybe you've heard about this with NFL players and other people. You got to visualize this. You got to see what you want and create that feeling about what it feels like to have it. Y'all tracking with me? Yes or no? You got to feel it. You got to see yourself in that zone. Some of y'all play sports, you know what I'm talking about. Who's ever been in the zone? Y'all been in the zone before? Where you just can't be taking what you do. You got it going on, right? It's the same thing. It's the same exact concept. You got to feel it. Okay? So don't ever give up on your dreams and your goals. We talk about I am. I want you to say, I am personally responsible. Say it again. Okay, if you can get that one thing and realize that throughout your whole life, I am personally responsible, it'll shape your gears and shape your mind and make certain that you don't have to blame anything. In my house, my kids, I got 2 children. I got a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. And our motto is no whining, no complaining, and no excuses. I got it all nailed down with that. Ain't no whining, ain't no complaining, ain't no excuses. I don't want to hear life ain't fair. He got this, she got that ain't right. No whining, no complaining, no excuses. You have the same motto in work? No whining, no complaining, no excuses. Okay? That motto will work for you, work for anybody. But those are the concepts when you realize that you're personally responsible. You have to realize and get, if there's one thing, you are responsible. Okay? You got to find that person. You got to find that thing, that book, that tape. Information changes situations. If I spend 2 days with you and give you new information about how you can train your mind to overcome adversity, would you be better 2 days after I've talked to you? Yes or no? I can't hear you. Yeah, you'd be better, right? Because now you have new information. With new information comes decisions. Now you can make a decision to decide to cut off. Do I want to think like I used to think? Or do I want to press forward and do some things I've never done? Okay? So understand that the concept of no whining, no complaining, no excuses is huge. There's no alibi. Don't blame anybody. Because listen to this. Nobody can take credit for any of your successes, and nobody can take credit for any of your failures. You own all of them. Okay? So again, I want to reiterate to you that failing doesn't make you a failure. Say it again. Some of y'all ain't getting this. Some of y'all believe this, that when you fail every now and again, that you just think you're a failure. My son, he's 8 years old. He'll do something. I don't know where he got it from. He'll spill something. Mom will get on. He'll say, what happened? We've got to clean it up. What's going on? Why did you spill that? And he'll walk to the trash and he'll say, I'm so stupid. Say that I am again. I'm so stupid. Now, where would the 8-year-old get that from? It's not my house. I don't tell him he's stupid. Mama don't say he's stupid. But his friends will say something. He must have learned something from somewhere. He's 8 years old. Every one of you sit in this room have that same conversation with yourself with certain things, certain self-confidence in some areas. In other areas, you're scared to death. And that fear will eat you alive. That's why it's so important for you to learn how to prepare and overcome some of these adversities. Again, I shared with you earlier just a little bit about what I went through as a young guy. And I'm telling you that if an 18-year-old kid that leaves his house in Miami, Florida, goes to Virginia, and then moves to Georgia, and I don't know a soul in Virginia, I don't know a soul in Georgia, can make something of himself, I know for a fact y'all can. Ain't no doubt in my mind. Ain't no doubt in my mind. But the only way you're going to do that is figure out who's personally responsible. Who's personally responsible? Okay, I hope y'all get that. Hope y'all get that, okay? So you want to make sure that you have the courage to push through. This fear thing, and I'm going to finish it with this, but this fear thing is huge. If you have courage, does that mean that fear is gone? Is it gone? No, it's not. See, having courage is when you're scared, but you do it anyways. It's when you have an opportunity to say, I need to volunteer. For whatever reason, you glue to the seat. Instead of having the courage to stand up, let somebody see you, be proud of who you are, and get in the game. So having courage is a critical piece also as far as succeeding is concerned. All right, so we recap this. So you hopefully have learned just a couple of quick things. And again, I'm saying this a couple of quick words, but I want to tell you something. When I was in school, you may not believe this, but I didn't like to have fun with it. I didn't like to read out loud. I was one of those kids, y'all may talk about the same kids. We used to read, right? So what would happen is we start reading the paragraphs, and everybody had a paragraph, so I'd count up the paragraphs in advance, see which paragraph behind. I had to memorize for that thing. Before I had to go to the bathroom, seriously. Y'all been there before? Yeah. It's that fear. I had it. Right? I didn't want to read in front of people. So, for me to get to a point to where I'm at now, to where I can speak in front of you with confidence, okay, that was a learned behavior. That was a decision I made, a choice that I made to be able to do that. Okay? And I want to read something about enthusiasm because one of the things about life, hopefully y'all can tell I'm a little excited, right? Okay? When somebody walks in a room, sometimes you should be able to tell that person's present without them saying a word. And in Kappa League, that's what it's all about, developing young men that when you walk in a room, they know, who's that guy? Who's that guy over there? You don't have to say a word. Okay? That's what you're looking for. Okay? And having a certain level of enthusiasm, how you carry yourself is important. But listen to what it says about enthusiasm. It says you can do anything if you have enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is the yeast that makes your hopes rise to the stars. Enthusiasm is the spark in your eye. It's the swing in your gait. Or we like to say it's a swag. The grip in your hand, the irresistible surge of your will and your energy to execute your ideas. I am. I stands for ideas. A stands for action. your will and energy to execute your ideas. Here we go now. If you're enthusiastic, enthusiasts are fighters. They say